Shalom Israel. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahawashi. Double on to the elders, GMS. This is another installment of the Watchmen of Israel News, Israelite News Network. Just gonna go through some of the news that's come out in the past week, since the last time I did the show. Today I'm gonna focus on mostly the financial and the war news, right? Because we're going into that time period. Basically, we're right at the end of this thing, man. This man's system is about to take a nosedive, and I'm gonna show you how we know that in the scriptures. Like, first of all, right? So let me get Revelations chapter 13. Right? Just start off with Revelation to set the scene. Then we're going to go into the economic news. Right? So this is Revelations chapter 13. And we'll start from verse 15. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship this image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is the wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Right, so according to the book of Revelations, the so-called white man, who's the beast, NATO, America, the whore, they're going to institute a system when no man's going to be able to buy or sell unless you carry the mark of the beast, which brothers should know, or anyone watching this video, if you don't know, it is the RFID chip, aka the very chip, aka the positive ID. Okay, now you have to understand that right now in the world you got something called currencies, man. Right, you got the dollar, which is the world's reserve currency, right, which is the #1 currency in the world. Then you got the euro, the ruble, I think the yen, peso, drachmas, so on and so on. Now, what Esau's trying to do is, Esau wants to introduce this chip, this one world currency. But in order for Esau to introduce the one world currency, then obviously the other currencies can't exist at the same time. Because the scripture says that no man might buy or sell except them that have the mark. But if you're still going to have dollars and them things lying around the place, people will use them to exchange. So what Esau's doing is he's systematically destroying all the currencies so he can bring in the chip. That's what it's all about. The destruction of all the fiat, because all the currencies in the world right now are fiat, basically. He wants to destroy all the world economies and currencies so that he could bring in that chip. Right, that's the understanding on that. Okay, now let's go into some news. Right. Okay, this first article is from blogs.wsj.com, right, and it's called, it says, the title is, or it was done on November the 6th, 2010. The title is "Number of the Week, 10.2 trillion in global borrowing." And it says 10.2 trillion, the amount of money advanced nation governments will need to borrow in 2011. As the debts of advanced countries rise to levels not seen since the aftermath of World War II, it's hard to know how much is too much, but it's easy to see that the risk of serious financial trouble is growing. Right? And then it goes on, basically, so it says here, next year 15 major developed country governments, including the US, Japan, the UK, Spain and Greece, will have to raise some 10.2 trillion to repay maturing bonds and finance their budget deficits, according to estimates from the International Monetary Fund. That's up 7% from this year and equals 27% of their combined annual economic output. Aside from Japan, which Japan got fucked a long time ago, which has a huge debt hangover from decades of endemic growth, the US is the most extreme case. Next year, the US government will have to find 4.2 trillion, that's 27.8% of its annual economic output, up from 26.5% this year. By comparison, crisis-addled Greece needs 69 billion and 23.8% of its annual GDP. So as you can see, Greece, you see what's popping up in Greece. America makes Greece look like a holiday land, man. That's why the same thing what's going on in Greece is gonna happen in America. And this is why the currency is gonna crash ultimately. I'll just try and get on the video the graph. You know, you got Japan there at the top, then you got America, Greece, Belgium, Italy, France, Portugal, Ireland, Spain, Canada, UK, right? So it's all fucked up, man, right? This white man's laden with heavy debts, man. That's it, right? His debts cannot be paid. To even function, they just got to keep borrowing, man. That's not a situation which can carry on, man. Here we have here in the Telegraph, telegraph.co.uk. I'm going to get a scripture to go with this one, right? It says Angela Merkel, that lesbian, that ugly ass Edomite wench, consigns Ireland, Portugal and Spain to their fate. It says Germany has had enough. Any Eurozone state that spends its way into a debt crisis or cannot adapt to a monetary union set for northern rhythms will face orderly bankruptcy. So basically Germany's saying we're going to leave you out there to dry, man. High and dry. Right? Because, let me get the scripture, then I'll give the understanding. This is on Daniel's chapter 2, verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, that's the Roman Empire, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. Right, so the Roman Empire conquered the known world at that time. And whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. So that's talking about the revived Roman Empire, which is known as the EU or NATO. It tells you that part of it's going to be strong, part's going to be weak. That's why you got Ireland, Portugal and Spain there, and Greece. You could throw Greece in there. You could throw some of them European blocks in there, them Eastern European blocks, Eastern European countries completely collapsing. Right? They don't really like to talk about them because they've been collapsing for a long while. Basically, Germany, Belgium, and certain other countries like that, France to a certain extent, the UK to a certain extent, they're doing bad, but they're doing better than the other ones. Basically, they're having to hold up these other nations to the point where it's dragging them down. They're going down with them. So Germany's to the point, because Germany's doing good. They're saying, look, basically, fuck you, man. You got to sort yourself out, man. You got to go bankrupt. We ain't gonna go down with you, right? So that's Satan divided against Satan, man. You divided the kingdom is dividing against each other on an economic basis. But it's supposed to be a European Union, man. Right? That's beautiful, right? Verse 42, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Right? Let's get some more evidence of this. This is from this the Evening Standard, which is the Evening Standard is standard.co.uk, or this is london.co.uk. This is an article written on the 8th of the 11th 2010, entitled Royal Bank of Scotland back in, which there ain't nothing royal about this bank, you know. Bunch of crackers own this, bunch of usurpers. Royal Bank of Scotland back in red, but Stephen Hester stays upbeat. So it says taxpayer controlled Royal Bank of Scotland because they bailed them out. The UK government bailed them out. Fell back into the red today as it reported a loss of 1.4 billion for the last 3 months, after making a profit for 1.2 billion in its second quarter. But Chief Executive Stephen Hester said the pre-tax loss was created by huge swings in the value of its balance sheet, and that underlying operating profits had risen from 250. Just bullshit, basically. Basically, they're robbing the government blind, man. Right? They're robbing them blind, man. They took the money, it's disappearing, and they're just leaving the public with the losses, man, which is going to further destroy the government, man. Which is all good, because it's leading up towards that pound getting fully destroyed. Right? Listen to this one. This is in Bloomberg.com. This came out Saturday, November the 6th. It says Treasury yields tumbled to records on Fed's plan to purchase $600 billion. Treasury 2 and 5-year note yields dropped to records after the Federal Reserve said it would buy an additional $600 billion of US debt to keep borrowing costs low and sustain the economic recovery. US debt yields rose yesterday after the government's payrolls report showed employers added more jobs in October than analysts forecast. The 30-year bond yield rose this week to a 4-month high as the Fed said it would buy fewer long-term securities than many investors anticipated. The Treasury will auction 72 billion in notes and bonds next week. People's heads are spinning after this week, said John Pfaff, a principal at BTG Pactual in New York. The market's affirming what the Fed is trying to accomplish. The market's saying the Feds will be successful, man. So basically, they're suckering, they're suckering people, man. Right? They're suckering people, man. Them government treasuries ain't worth nothing, man. And basically, they're monetizing debt, man. They're eating themselves, man. It's all messed up, man. It's all messed up, man. No one wants this dollar anyway. That's why they gotta buy their own dollar, man. This is madness. How can you create your own debt and buy your own debt, man? It's just crazy, man. It's total madness. This stuff baffles the mind, man. It's all kind of trickeries anyway. Right? Now this is a good one, because this is going into this, because what they were doing here is quantitative easing, man. When they're creating these treasuries, they're basically just creating dollars out of thin air, man. Right? Now this is an article from prisonplanet.com. It says 9 reasons why quantitative easing is bad for the US economy. Because like I said, this is the whole plan of the Illuminati. Is they're literally destroying the dollar on purpose, man. Because they want to bring in this chip. Because the Illuminati don't give a fuck about America, man. They want world domination. They don't give a fuck about America. America's the whore to them. The great whore. That's why the scriptures call it the whore. It's a whore. They've used it up. Didn't use a condom. They just, they popped it. They're still popping it. Damn vagina's rotting. Right? The dollar's rotting. They're still popping it till it's gonna just eventually just drop dead. Right? Now let's go through some of these reasons real quick. So quantitative easing will damage the value of the US dollar. Right? Because it's simple, man. You print more dollars, that means more dollars are in supply. That reduces the value of the dollars which are already in supply, because dollars are not based on